Hello guys, sorry that took so long. You guys all ready apparently, apart from me. Before I transition I still need to double check a couple of things. This stream, I'm going to be adding in some new bits that my editor has got back to me on for chapter 1. I'll try my best to not spoil anything, but it's a good thing not a lot of people watch this. I basically need to add a few more panels to chapter 1. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. Again, not particularly exciting content. So, well, I'll transition in now. I hope she don't mind seeing her notes. This is basically what I've got to do. I've got to add a couple of panels here. So let's do that. Hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you for joining once again. That's alright, Husky. Like I said, people don't need to apologise for not being on time, because some of these aren't even planned. Right, gotta try and do this one here. This does mean, however, I've got to put the planning in, which as we all know is exciting content. I pinged her as well. That's nice to hear. I don't know how long this stream's going to go on for though, but I need to do a couple of panels from scratch, so this might be a long one. Also, Jack, don't feel bad for not donating either. Like I said, I don't expect people to do it, and nor are you obliged to, so don't feel bad. Did you put lol there? I've also got another panel there. It's to build up, obviously, their introduction. Good streams have to be at least 5 hours long. That's not going to happen tonight. I don't plan on working till 1 o'clock in them at night. Hopefully I get a bit more done by that point. Okay. I'm not really concentrating here. Right, let's get on with this, shall we? Let's start scribbling and go from there. Okay, this ain't gonna look very good pretty at first, so bear with me. Oh yeah, Happy New Year, by the way. I just realised, first stream of the year. Derp. Yeah, I hope she's okay with me having her notes on stream. Yeah, I had that problem at first. Shadow. You need a better computer. That's what it'd be. So I keep switching backwards and forwards. I'm just trying to get a better reference here. Right, Joe's there, so Dylan's here. Bear with, guys. I know, I can imagine the start of these drawings don't really excite people seem interesting, because I'm not really putting much down. But for me, planning is pretty important, so try and take my time with it. As much time as I can afford to, at least. Of course, I don't need to draw their entire faces here because it's sort of like a reveal. Hopefully I can get this looking all without showing too much. What are people talking about? I saw animation for something. So I'm just catching up with chat here because it's actually going quite quick tonight. Oh, Spideyverse you guys talk about. Okay, I have no opinion on that because I haven't seen it yet. Should probably save this as well. Oh. Yes, new see me, yeah. Right. New folder. Oops. Oh, for God's sake. Maybe here I should have done it a bit, lean back a bit more actually. I mean the notes are right there and I'm not copying it. Right, anyway. Sorry I keep switching backwards and forwards, but this is what I do. Especially when I'm trying to use a reference. Let's have him leaning back a bit more here. He's a bit too stiff, isn't he? Shoulders a bit further back as well. A bit more hunched too. Looks dirty without context. Christ. I mean, I thought I was dirty-minded, but turns out there's people far worse than me. I mean, usually when something's mentioned, then I can't unsee it. But here, I don't see it. Why is it? Because he stood behind him. But if his hand's there, then oh, soft eraser. When do I use that? Hello, Candlelight. Thanks for joining. I guess the only thing I could do is blame myself if I accidentally make these lewd. Intentional or not. Mind you, I wouldn't be lying if I said I have no idea what I'm really doing right now. I'm not really following this through because I'm trying to hurry up a little bit. Again, I don't have an opinion on a Netflix series because I haven't got Netflix. I'm trying to not get distracted by anything right now. I've got some stuff, got some deadlines to meet. That must admit, with all the stuff Netflix are going to start producing, well, are producing, it is really hard not to get distracted by that. I can't wait till they mess up Cowboy Bebop though. We're slowly getting there, people. It's starting to look like a picture now. And hopefully less lewd. I enjoy streaming, Jack. Might not sound like it, but I do. Like I said before, I stream if I'm in a relatively good mood. Mood. You'd like to think so, Husky, because if it's not, if they don't have like jazz or anything like that in it, it sort of defies the point of Cowboy Bebop in a way, because the music is just as important as the show itself, well, the story. I wouldn't put it past, because this is probably Hollywood again at it. I won't put it past them though if they actually missed the whole point of the anime. Is this looking better? Probably not. And maybe it's too zoomed in here. Maybe I'll have it so his nose is showing as well. Just his eyes are obscured. Add a bit of hair that's not like that. No, he needs to be more leaned back still. Actually, maybe scrap that. It's moving back entirely. Yeah, I think that's what I was wrong here. Just looking a bit too stiff for my liking. Needs to be loosened up, I think, a little bit. Stiff? Loosened? I'm really not helping with the lewdness of this. Apparent lewdness by saying words like that, I'm guessing. Of course, I'm trying to do a bit of foreshadowing here. Which is difficult when you're not very good at it. So I usually just make the arms look too like they're stumpy, instead of giving the illusion of perspective here. Also, I think his head's a bit too big in proportion to his body. Remember my rules, kids. Don't follow the guides. Can I see this message? I'm not sure. Right. Well, I should probably reference... Yeah. Screw it. Let's just sort of freehand this. Mind you, I can't really do a face reveal for Joe, can I? Well, doesn't even have a face. What a plot twist. I think freehanding that hasn't helped. I very rarely draw things without putting like some sort of structure down. I kind of hate most of my animations I've done in the past. Cyberball especially. And for that reason. I actually hate a lot of stuff I make. Like after about a couple of days I've done it, I was like, oh. Because I'm always like... I'm always Captain Hindsight with my stuff. I mean, it's probably going to happen with this, to be honest. Even though this is the third time, technically the third time I'm redoing this comic. Like I said, I'm my own worst critic at times. Own slash best. Oh yeah, I've also got to be mindful of space here, as in space for the speech bubbles. Hopefully next stream though, guys, I'll be working on chapter 2. Well, I've sort of been working on that anyway, past couple of days. Oh. Kinda did have my hair like this at one point, Jack. Not necessarily over my face, but getting on to being quite long. So not necessarily a face reveal, but a face info reveal. There you go. It still looks a bit rigid. I'm not sure what it is. I think firstly, I should probably frame this, see how it looks. Whoops, I think I just gave away, like, oh no, I just gave away that bit as well. Oh, damn it. That's right, there's only 10 of you guys watching. I'm actually sort of not allowed to spoil things. Gonna go over it again, sorry guys. Actually, to give a sense of like speed going on here, well, to show there's a bit of movement, I should probably exaggerate the hair a bit more. We'll get there eventually, hopefully. Hopefully this will start look a bit better. I know I want to sort of keep the consistency to how I used to draw things, but not this closely. Actually, even there his hair's too long. trying to give a sense here of like they're moving at speed. It's quite difficult to do. Referencing is absolutely fine, Shadow, whether you're a professional or not. Just so you know. Even Disney animators have used references whilst working. So don't feel bad. If anything, I should reference more often, personally. I think I would struggle less. But the problem is, like, where the hell do you go for references like this? Like, the only thing I can think of is Jackass. I may have to tighten up his knuckles here, so it looks like he's really holding on tight. Again, I hope these aren't innuendos to people. Maybe a bit of drool here. Yeah, it flies into his mouth. No, that's disgusting. Actually, yeah, I just realised I should probably actually, yeah. Draw. Ideally, it's best to draw the background first. So in this case, him. That's what I should carry on doing, because in a minute I might have to move him. Just move him a little bit so it looks like he's actually behind him. It kind of looks like he's just beside him here, but he's not. Actually, I'm going to change the sleeve. I think I did that wrong, actually. I think I'll get rid of it anyway, it looks a bit weird. Also, god damn it, I should have known better. should have robbed this out first. And that. We are slowly getting there, I think. Can't really afford to get there slowly. Just need to get on with it. Tell you what, all these deadlines I'm eventually going to have to meet are going to hit me like a ton of bricks. I guess this is preparation for it when the time comes. I mean, right now I'm okay because I've got a back catalogue of existing chapters that just need tweaking. But when it comes to the new ones, when the time comes, oh dear. Still, easier than doing animations. And less stressful. Oh yeah, keep forgetting to draw his skull. Been doing that a lot lately. Again, chat, you need to tell me. Okay, Binkter. And thank you, Goku. Just trying to figure out where to put these sleeves now. Again, to give a sense of speed. Not gonna put it here now, but there's gonna be like a speech bubble there and a speech bubble here, I think. Right. I mean, I appreciate the compliment, but I don't think this is looking that great. I know the feeling, Shadow. Good luck anyway. I don't really have much thoughts on sport. I remember vaguely watching the cartoon years and years and years ago on... Oh, I can't even remember what the channel was. But it was on late at night. I catched a couple of episodes of it. That is as far as I go in terms of my exposure to Spawn. But anyway, let's clean up, shall we? Or at least try to. think you guys should know right now. If you've said if you ask me if I've seen a particular show, 9 times out of 10 it'll be no. You'd be surprised. No, I don't actually watch a lot of cartoons anymore, or anime. I think I've made that pretty clear on previous streams, though, in terms of watching anime at least. Yeah, I'll move this over here actually, because of the angle he's at. His thingamajig, I don't even know what you call it. Do that again. I don't actually watch a lot of TV. It's a lot of stuff I watch is online. But I try to watch it as legitimately as possible, though. Granted, I never used to, but these days I'm a bit more conscious of that. The only cartoon I sort of stay up to date with is Steven Universe, which again was very disappointing. This week, well, last week. No, this week. No, it was last week, sorry. Uvula, that's it. I don't enjoy a lot of British TV though, Jack. I will say that much, because British TV is just piss poor now. It's just cooking shows or reality TV. Very sad state of affairs. It's almost as bad as stuff that trends on YouTube. Almost as bad. I mean, it's been like this for a good few years now, but it's getting ridiculous now. There's just so much of the same crap. Yeah, it is, Jack. Take it from me. Me personally, at least. To each their own. If you love cooking, you'll love British TV if you love cooking. Because that's all there is. People can't seem to get enough of it. Or if you're into shitty reality TV shows, there's plenty of that as well. But that is basically it. Oh, and panel shows as well, but even then they've started going downhill recently because they've started getting rid of the... Well, one of the best ones went downhill years ago, and then they cancelled it. Yeah, I ate everything is yeah, right about that. Like, we used to make pretty decent sitcoms as well, but pff, the ones I've seen are just terrible now. But sad thing is, people eat it up. Like, I just don't understand. Like Mrs. Brown's Boys. If anybody's heard of that, I just can't, I just don't understand. It's just a woman. It's just a guy dressed up as an old woman who is a bit rude, and that's something that was done years ago by Catherine Tate. It's like, okay, it's just a sitcom. That's the only difference. Oh wait, and he's got a funny accent. Great. That won't wear off anytime soon. Well, apparently it hasn't. It's got like 8 series or something so far. It's like on its 8th season. It's ridiculous. I didn't think I'd go on a rant about British television, but here we are. To each their own. To each their own. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's bad, right? Also, I can't believe I've been almost 45 minutes doing this. Pardon me. Mind you, it is because the easiest thing for me, which is drawing faces, is sort of obscured in this picture. So that's why it's taking a bit longer than I'd like to. Also, straight line tool is your friend. I should have mentioned this the second I started using it. I should always remind you that it is your friend. Don't leave it. Let's zoom out a bit as well, just see how it's going to be from afar. I hope you can get a gist though that they're sort of going at speed and in a bit of a panic. Well, for him at least. I wouldn't say the state of movies is as bad as everyone thinks it is. It's just like, you know, you're always going to have the couple of mainstream crappers. That's always been the thing. they make these mainstream movies because a lot of people watch them, these mainstream crappers, and they just eat it up. Remember people, 50 Shades of Grey is like one of the highest grossing movies, I think, slash books. And why do you think that is? I remember for a long period, Avatar was one of the highest grossing movies. Well, it still technically is, I think. But I think something overtook it. And Avatar is like, yeah, there's like a little bit of creativeness to it, but it's just so, the story is so, from what I remember, was so predictable. Well, not predictable, it just didn't do anything new, really. Even though it sort of tried to trick people into thinking that. Because of the blue Smurfs on steroids. Like, the only films, like the mainstream films I don't begrudge are the Marvel movies, because they actually went to the effort of building the characters. I haven't seen all the Marvel movies. In fact, I need to. I haven't even watched the meme that is Infinity War yet. But those films I actually appreciate for, you know, trying, even though they're quite mainstream. Well, they're superhero movies, aren't they? I can appreciate films that at least try to do something different. Even if it is something like we've all seen before, like a superhero movie. It's all over my comic, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, it's not exactly the most original premise, but I like to think I'm trying something a bit different. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this as well. Actually, I'm going to put a little gap here. Just to sort of give the illusion that they're sort of welded together. I can't believe how long this has taken. Yeah, I must admit, the reason I'm behind on the Marvel stuff is because there's so many movies. How many have they made? About 20 or 30? That's a lot of stuff to watch. Like, a lot of movie watching. And especially when you're not an avid moviegoer like I am. But still, I don't think they're bad movies. I appreciate them for actually trying, like the fact they all, you know, they've all tried building characters from them. They're all not just like pointless cash grabs. In other words, it's like they actually cared a bit. At least with the movies I've seen. And that is actually building up to something. For example, the Avenger movies. Pardon me. But then you have embarrassments like Justice League, which is just the opposite. In fact, I couldn't even finish Justice League. It was that bad. I tried watching it. Me and my morbid curiosity. Mind you, I used to be a massive fan of the Justice League cartoon, so that's why I thought I'd watch it and see how badly they messed it up. Oh my god. We're slowly getting there, guys. Yeah, they're gonna take up slots though, Jack, aren't they? It's mainstream, isn't it? That's what's mainstream right now. The Blockbuster. But like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you follow a trend, as long as you do something with it. Don't just do something soulless like bloody Justice League. Oh god, just thinking about it like pisses me off. It's like it's one of those movies that are just insultingly bad. And we're just so desperate to jump on the Avengers train. Like, it's just... Did they seriously think they were fooling everybody with pulling off that kind of shit? Yeah, we're not totally jumping on the bandwagon at all. And we're totally not prepared for it. Yay. Apparently, it doesn't help as well that there was a change in directors halfway through the movie, and that does explain a lot. Like, it turned a bad movie into something worse. The first director must have been like, yep, I just realised how bad this film actually is. And just gave up, I'm guessing. I don't blame them. Oh yeah, The Mummy. Another terrible film. Mind you, I can't hate it though. I can't hate it as much as Justice League, because it didn't try, you know... Yeah, it did the stupid nostalgic cash grab thing, which is another thing that needs to stop. But it's just... It's just that when you expect DC to do better, then just try and copy Marvel, which is not going to work with the way they're trying to do it. Do your own thing. Do what the animated movies are doing. Like I don't understand how the animated movies are so good, but then their you know, theatrical releases are so bad. Obviously different writers and that, and people doing their, like, completely screwing up their research. I will say, Husky, watch The Dark Knight. That is literally the only good one. That is technically part of the DC universe, I'm guessing. Even though that is the start of no, the second movie with Christian Bale's really bad Batman voice. But if you can look past that, that is a very good film. Even though it's about 10 years old now. In fact, beyond that. Right, clean up? Colour. Trying to add some colour. I can't believe that took so long. Oh yeah. Pardon me, spoiler alert. Oh yeah, I could probably just pinch this one, because I actually did this one on stream. Actually, I think there I'll use a darker blue. Whee, why has it done that? Didn't close all the gaps, did I? There we go. Thanks, Jack, for the 2. Only because Pork appreciates movies with passion. I'm usually passionate about something where I get more annoyed about it than anything else. Like, I very rarely talk about movies I actually really like. I do hate seeing potential wasted though. Especially now that movies they pour all this money into a project and then they don't, like, I don't know, they just don't get decent writers or get people who know what they're doing, or people who are a specialist in a certain genre. Just so you know, that's sort of meant to be like their gum showing a little bit. Might not look like it from here. Ah, just realised I didn't draw their backpacks. Oh. Chat, why didn't you tell me? That's alright. Should be a relatively easy fix. It's hard getting back into this habit because I only drew them with backpacks in the first episode / chapter. Actually, tell a lie. I think a couple of times I drew him with backpacks on. So his arm's going to be even more obscured. Yeah? Because I've got to draw the backpack. Something relatively simple though. mean, for me, with the live act, is it a movie? I thought it was going to be a TV series. God, goes to show how much I pay attention to Sonic these days. Yeah, if they're just, it might sound good, Garth, but it doesn't necessarily mean it might be good. We've got to remain skeptical about that. Just because it's in anime form doesn't mean it's going to be any better. Right. Now put these backpacks in. Wait, it's done that because the colour margin's too high. Don't get me wrong, an anime Justice League would be cool if they actually upped the ante in the animation department. Anyway, going back to the Sonic thing, I think what they'll do, if they make it bad, they'll make it needlessly complicated. I think that's how they'll ruin it. That's my prediction, at least. Because let's be honest, there's not much substance to Sonic in the games. That's why it should stay as a video game. And that's generally why most things that are turned into movies, most games that are turned into movies don't really work, because there's not enough substance there. Like, apparently they're making a Mario movie. What can you do with that? I don't know. Apparently Hollywood knows better than all of us here, so... You're slowly turning into me, Husky. I used to be, like I said, I've said this on streams many a time. I used to love anime. But then after a while I started, like you said there, I started noticing things. I was like, oh, okay. I think it doesn't help the fact that I picked some really bad shows to watch. Or just end up being too hyped for something and then just being really disappointed. And like I said, I just started growing more of a critical eye towards things. And when you do that, you start to notice more and more problems. I guess for me personally, now that I'm doing comics or doing my own stuff, Sort of glad I did watch quite a lot of crap anime, because it makes me be mindful of trying to not make the same mistakes that they did. Emphasis on try though. But it's good for reference, I'll say that much. I think what started it off for me though was when I started realising Naruto's decline for me, because I used to be a massive. Well, they used to call us Narutards, didn't they? Or a Narutard if you're really into it. I gave him a blue forearm there. I almost turned him into Sonic, almost. How cruel of me. Actually, I made this blue a bit darker here, just so his arms stick out a bit more. Pardon me. Like I said, I don't regret watching Naruto because it's made me realise that doing loads of twists doesn't mean it does your story any favours. And adding loads of characters to a story does nothing. Again, I don't because of what I've learned about how Shonen Jump and that, like, well, just manga artists in general, like, apparently they get a lot of sorry, no, the editor or whatever they work with has a lot of creative control. But still, it doesn't excuse how bad that show eventually became. Mind you, from what I've read of, I'm not really a fan of how they do things over there, to be honest. I shouldn't question, it's part of their culture though. That's all I'll say about that though. But if people can die from being overworked over there, that says a lot. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ah, good thing I got the dialogue put away here. I can't believe how long this is taking me, sorry guys. It's not even like I'm being distracted or anything, I'm just being really slow. Ah. Actually, I quite like that shadow there. Maybe I've got ideas now. Is this a happy accident? What do you reckon? I think I actually prefer this because it actually gives a better sense that he's actually right behind Dylan here. Without being too lewd, hopefully. Does mean I need to put a shadow over here though. I think this is actually a happy accident. I think this looks better now. Maybe lighten up a few areas here. Yeah, maybe a bit round here. Bit of light round there. And there as well. I could be wrong. I should probably have a zoom back a little bit, see how this looks. Yo, what's up? BitConnect. Hey, Kenneth. Thanks for joining again. Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on Dragon Ball Super, to be honest, either. Like, I've said this before on stream, I'm just sort of over Dragon Ball. Like, why didn't they just leave it alone after Dragon Ball Z ended? Like, why didn't... Like, I reckon Dragon Ball Z, for example, is one of those shows that would have been left alone if Akira Toriyama did a new show. Did, like, a new series or something. I bet that would kill off the Dragon Ball Z interest. Well, it would have. It's a bit too late now. I mean, I give Super credit, from what I've seen at least. At least they tried to up the ante in the animation department a little bit. I know, like, when it first came out, it was terrible. I know of that meme. But compared to the original series, it's a lot better. But you'd like to think so, because it's Dragon Ball. You think they'd put some effort in. trying to add like a metallic sort of look to this trolley slash cart. But it's not really working. I've sort of had a bit of a brain fart here. I think though, guys, I'm lying here. I lied to you earlier. I think I might be done after this picture. I didn't realise this would take me so long. Sorry. You know how it is to you regulars. It's about an hour. When it gets to about an hour and a half, I generally stop. Yeah, I'm trying to add like a metallic sort of look to that. That's generally what I do. When I want something to have like a metallic-y look, I add 3 tones rather than just the 2. It's a pretty traditional way. You see loads of artists do this, so it's not like I'm being innovative here. Actually, come to think of it, I'll stop anyway. At least I've done the most interesting panel, because the next one I'd have to do is a close-up of a wheel skidding and add another establishing shot. So actually, at least I've done the most interesting panel for this stream. Don't start questioning things, Jack, otherwise you're going to end up like me. Especially when it comes to anything like Dragon Ball or anything to do with Shonen. That's partly why I started that's partly what began my hate for Naruto. I started questioning loads of stuff. Don't question stuff that happens in Shonen anime. That's when it starts. I wish I could be one of those people again, where I could just enjoy something for what it is. I can't do that anymore. I'm too critical. Anyway, I'll get rid of that. Just gonna add some effects here and then we'll be done for tonight. Once again, I appreciate y'all for dropping by. Just gonna add some like background here just to give more of a sense that they're moving along quickly. Basically more of this. So let's grab the mechanical pencil for this. Don't use this very often. That's why I'm a bit confused. I'm trying to add like a sense of speed going on here, like they're dashing along in the background's like at a blur. It's a bit hard to do though. And also add grab the G pen for this, get the black pen. The only problem about this, I've got to try and make it as straight as possible. And it's a lot of trial and error. Actually, going back to Justice League, the cartoon, this is basically like me copying what they used to do on that show all the time. Like when something was, like for example, when Flash was moving along really fast, like the background would blur and there'd be loads of lines. Like that is just straight from that show for me. That's like what partly inspired me for this kind of effect. In fact, someone asked me the other day, like, what was sort of my inspiration. I just said it was a green mush between anime and Western shows I've watched, which is true, but specifically Justice League and like Batman the Animated Series, those kind of shows are like really inspired my art style. I think people have asked me that before, and I've never really pinpointed like what show in particular has inspired my style, and that's one of them. I don't know why it took me so long to realise that, or I just completely forgot about it. I don't know if you guys can see the inspiration from that, but when I first started like doing, I don't know, drawings online, when I had DeviantArt and that was my main inspiration. Before I watched anime, basically. That was like my two main inspirations. Dragon Ball Z was still sort of there as well. But at that time, when Dragon Ball Z was big on Toonami and that, I wasn't even aware what anime was. Like I remember when back then I was really dumbfounded by how the lip movement was done in Dragon Ball, because I'd never seen like that sort of thing before. I remember being really baffled by it. Anyway, I think I might work on these effects, but hopefully that gives a sense that they're moving at haste. Maybe, hang on. Before I go, actually, I'm gonna try and add another effect here. This might not even work though. Need to go to motion blur. Maybe that's what I need. Right, got to try and figure out what direction. Right, this might work. Let's see if this works or not. I'm not sure, actually. Does it look like... I don't know if that really works or not. Maybe. Hang on. Maybe if some of this needs rubbing out. Try and leave like the blurriness on the outside, maybe. And whatever's on this side of the characters rub out. Basically, well, as it suggested there, the tool motion blur. That's slightly better. I better not make this too advanced though. This is maybe my first chapter from 3 years ago. Yeah, I think I might have to that's on full blast. That looks a little bit better. I think I need to rub some of this out though, still. I think this effect here is alright, but here and there. Okay, that'll do. I don't want to start fiddling with it where I end up ruining it like even more than it is now. Well, that'll do for tonight, guys. We're over the 1.5 hour mark, just about. Did not think this would take me so long. But like I said, when I'm not drawing faces, it takes me a lot longer. So, time to fade out that music. You don't know what the heck is going on. I'm going. Or if you're on about the picture, in that case, I might need to fix it. Oh, another gang. Right, you cheeky sods, I'm gonna go now. I appreciate y'all for coming by, and I especially appreciate everyone who has basically stuck by throughout the stream once again. I didn't think this was a particularly exciting one, but I hope you enjoyed me watching me struggle, more so than normal. Where is my mouse gone? And I'm gonna fade out now, the best part of the stream. Thank you all once again, and thank you Jack for the tip. And I'll see you guys probably Saturday. Again, I'm going to try and get back to the schedule, quote unquote schedule that I have. I'll see you later, guys. Love and peace. Or peace and love. See you guys. Time to fade out.